All right, y'all, we are live on this beautiful Thursday afternoon. God bless everybody in the name of Jesus, Yeshua the Messiah. I pray you and your family are super blessed on this beautiful sunny afternoon. Guys, Bitcoin right now is in a world of lack of volatility. And the question on everybody's mind right now is this. Actually, you know what? I can't even see the thumbnail anymore. Is Santa about to punch the bear market in the face, and are we about to rally up to new all-time highs? I took a poll. Are we going to see a new all-time high in 2026? 54% say yes. Now, that is crazy because, well, historically speaking, after this point in the cycle, we have not seen a new all-time high the following year. So, very interesting. Most people say yes, that would be a radical change in the Bitcoin price action. All right, a radical change in the Bitcoin price action. Guys, make sure to smash up the likes. Here's the thing. Today, I'm giving away $3,000 courtesy of KCEX. All right, it's going to be a small stream today. So that means there's a high probability of you winning. All right. Shout out to Bullish on Parade. He came in to say Merry Christmas and praise Jesus. God bless you, Bullish on Parade. Merry Christmas, bro. Merry Christmas to everybody who celebrates Christmas. If you don't celebrate Christmas, Merry Thursday. All right, we can all be merry together here. Now look, guys, there's a very good chance, given the fact that we're probably only going to have a couple hundred people in here, that you will be one of our winners. We're going to be doing 10 giveaways. All right, we'll split it up 5 and 5. Each person will receive $300 airdropped into their KCEX account. If you want to win, you need to use the link that is in the pinned comment in the chat. All right, so right over here, guys. All right, it says KCEX is giving away $3,000 today. To win, create an account here. Basically, you just have to be signed up to KCEX using my affiliate link. If you do not use my affiliate link, you cannot win the money. All right, so I'm telling you guys, if you want to win the money, and the people that say, I never win, now is the time that you might have a chance to win. All right, so go ahead and click the dang link. You don't have to deposit anything. All right, don't have to deposit anything. Let's see who we got in the chat today. We've got to give a major shout out to everybody in the chat. First of all, a major shout out to Crypto Coons. God bless you, bro. Shout out to Hodl Crypto. God bless you, man. Shout out to Red Elephant in the house. Shout out to Tushar J01 who says, haha, merry to all. Shout out to Quiet Alpha 89. God bless you, my man. Shout out to Hound Dog. Shout out to Sean. It's so hard to read these YouTube names. God bless you, bro. Shout out to Philip, Colin, and Baru. Rounded bottom, uppercut. Shout out to Brother Nature Joe. Shout out to Kingdom Come VIP. Merry Christmas to you, my man. Shout out to Doc the Goat. He says price only goes up. Jay, our system is all kinds of effed. People have to put their money somewhere. Nothing makes sense. Everything is overvalued. That's what happens, I guess, when you have a fiat currency Keynesian deficit spending type system. Shout out to Luminosna, who says, as promised, here I am on the Christmas live stream with you. Our weighted vests are on. Yeah, we got the weighted vest on, guys. Trying to get in that cardio, if you know what I mean. Shout out to Kenneth. He says, where's the target, please? Well, I'll be totally candid with you and tell you that my target for the trades I'm currently in, my final target, is going to be around here. Right at the top of the range. I'm viewing this as a sideways range, and my target is going to be at the top of the range. Reason why? Bounced from the macro 786,886. Got to move to the upside. Bounced from the macro Fibonacci golden pocket. And currently, for the past 2 days, we've been bouncing from the local Fibonacci golden pocket with a nice bottom on the daily, technically speaking. A hidden bullish divergence, if we want to take it from the April low. And we had bullish divs on the 4 hour. As we came up into this zone, we had bullish divergence as well on the 4 hour. As we came up into this zone, we had some bullish divergences on the 1 hour time frame. Right now, volatility is absolute crap. Am I confident in my trade that we're going to get the move up there? No. I'm honestly not very confident. Because it's been taking a very long time, and I'm very uncomfortable with the fact that I've been in the trades since Monday the 15th of December, right? Ever since we came into this golden pocket zone here, I have been in the trades, and yet it's been 2 weeks, guys. 2 weeks of nothing. All right? 2 weeks of nothing. So am I super confident? I'm not, but am I going to stay in the trade? I am. Why? Because I'm trading according to my plan with good risk management. If there's one thing I've learned, it's this. If I decide right now to close my trades because, well, it's just not happening as fast as I want, well, guess what? As soon as I close the trade, boom! Scam wake up to $125,000 immediately. Immediately. Not, it's like, it's crazy. You first, you think it's a glitch. You click close trade. Are you sure you want to close the trade? Yes. Close it out. Boom! Immediate scam wick. All the way up to 125. My goodness. Now, if I stay in the trade, no scam wick to the upside. Possible of a slow grind maybe to hit our target, right? That's probable. Other possibility if you stay in the trade. Remember, you close the trade right now. Scam wick to the upside. Other possibility, scam wick to the downside. You know, so... It's tough. It's really tough. You know, it's all about playing reverse psychology with the market makers, right? Because the market makers know you're in the trade. They know you're waiting for it to pump. They're like, we're not going to pump it because he's in the trade. We want him to close the trade so we can pump it just to mess with Jason Casper, that YouTuber. Us market makers, our whole purpose here is simply just to mess with that one guy, Jason Casper, on YouTube. The most famous YouTuber in the world. The most popular, coolest, smartest, best cardio YouTuber in the world, right? That's our goal. We just want to mess with him, right? So because we know that they know that 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 we're holding the trade. That means we also know that they know that we know that they know that we're going to close the trade so they can scam wick to the upside. But because I know that they know that I know that they know that I know they're going to scam wick it to the upside, I'm going to hold the trade. And even though I know that they know that I know that they're going to scam wick it to the downside, I don't think they're going to do that just yet. All right? It's like playing rock, paper, scissors, baby, with your 4-year-old son. You know, trying to outsmart him. It's tough. It's tough. But we can do it, guys. We can do it. If you know what I'm saying. Major shout to the super chat. Crypto Scarface says, Merry Christmas to you all. I'm expecting Bitcoin to hit new all-time high in 2026, and we shall see crypto all around continuing. But before that happens, I'm expecting Bitcoin to hit low 70s, and that should be the bottom. Shout out to Crypto Scarface. I do hope we get one last big old dip if we're going to continue in the bull market. Thank you so much for the super chat. Shout out to Izzy R7. Shout out to Shogun Crypto. Lots of market breakers in the JC crew. Yeah. Shout out to Brother Nature. Shout out to Saad2725. Shout out to Doc the Great and Croco94240. Shout out to CBK Wahoo. He says, yeah, buddy. What's good in the trading hood? But he looks to be starting phase D of Wyckoff accumulation, which means rally. I kind of feel that way too, man. I kind of feel that way too. I'm looking for a rally. I am looking for a rally. Yeah, the market makers, they definitely watch Jason Casper. I mean, who wouldn't? You know? Who wouldn't watch Jason Casper? I mean, I'm going to take a screenshot of this right here. And I'm going to literally ask everybody I meet for the rest of my life, would you watch this? Of course they're going to say yes. Of course. Of course. Shout out to Roy TX. Shout out to Lucky Jim Bob 111. All right, now let's pop onto the charts here. All right, guys. We are about to close the second weekly candle since the Okay, so we confirmed it. First weekly close. Yeah, we're about to close in 3 days. Another weekly candle after this green dot. All right. Now, overall context of the market. This is my view. my view is that a very significant high is in because of the 2-month bearish divergence. All right. We go back in Bitcoin history. 2027 marked the top. 2-month bear div. 2021 marked the top. 2-month bear div. Here we are. 2025. This makes me think that we have a few more months of sideways and down price action based on the historical data that every single time we have not had enough power to continue up with the 2-month bear div. Same with the monthly. Every time market cipher B momentum loses that 60 level, we just don't have enough power to continue in the uptrend. We need a few months of cooling down. Now we come to the weekly, and we have a bottom. We can go back in time and back test these oversold bottoms. All right. Now, what's very strange about this oversold bottom right now, guys, with the big BitBoy green dot, is that we have only ever printed these in the heat of the bear. All right. We printed them in 2014, early 2015 in the heat of the bear. We printed one in 2018 in the heat of the bear. We printed one in 2022 in the heat of the bear. Now we're printing one again. Very out of character. Very strange. Now, maybe, is this the heat of the bear? I mean, is this all the pullback we get? We can't keep that off the table. But I'm leaning towards no. I'm leaning towards it's going to give us a retracement to the upside. And we're going to see another low, at least. Now, this green dot, though, I am expecting it to give us a big push to the upside because we can go back and test all these green dots. We can literally, we'll take it back all the way to 2018, 2019. And they always signal either the bottom is in or the bottom is about to be in for many subsequent weeks, even in the middle of a bear market. So we go back to the 2018 bear market, right? Once we confirm the green dot, we get 2 more weeks of upside. This is in the heat of the bear market. Remember, after the dot confirms, we get another 14, almost 15% to the upside. Over here, we confirm the green dot in the heat of the bear market, mind you. And we end up with, from the close of that candle, a move of about 33% to the upside. Then we come literally to the bottom of the bear market. No need to discuss further. Now, over here, this one here, very important. We confirm the green dot. Guess what? We dump immediately. But when we dump immediately, it's simply just a fake out of that initial low. And the candle bodies cannot close below that initial level. And we end up pumping up from that low about 60%. All right, this is before the COVID dump. All right, and then it gives us a nice bullish divergence. Over here, we get the green dot in the weekly. Big old pump to the upside. Then we enter into another bear market. Okay, green dot on the weekly, 45% move to the upside. Second green dot of the bear market, 43% move to the upside. Third green dot of the bear market. End up pumping up into the bull market. Okay, this is telling me that either the low is in right here, or we get another dump to the downside, but the dump is going to be a fake out, and we're going to get the reclaim and then pump, right? This is what this is telling me here. Now, when we get that pump, what am I expecting? Well, personally, I have to expect that we're going to have to continue sideways and down, because I don't think we have enough power based on our 2-month time frame to continue up. The only way I'm open to being wrong here is if we continue up, honestly. It seems very improbable. So here's kind of what I'm looking at. I'm looking for a retracement. If we can reclaim $96,000, then I think we're going to come back to around the area of 108 to 115-ish, all right? This is going to give us a lower high. This is going to allow us to backtest the previous all-time highs from December 2024. It would really, if we think about this just from a support resistance standpoint, right? It would actually make a lot of sense that we come up to backtest the resistance, and then we eventually make our way back down to the next support, which is around $70,000, and that's going to be our first major support right there, right? Now, I'm also open to potentially making another all-time high, but that all-time high would have to result in a bearish move to the downside, and that is this. If we come back up and backtest the trend line of the entire bull market, notice, this would give us a higher high, right? If it happens in like February, it would give us a higher high at around $133,000. This is going to be February 2nd, 2026. I'm projecting into the future about a month and a few days here, a month and about 5 weeks, right? And basically, this is going to give us a higher high, but also it'll be a back test of resistance, which used to be support, all right? So that's kind of the two scenarios I'm expecting. Now, could we just enter right into a big old bull pumperoni? I mean, yeah, anything's possible, but just because something's possible doesn't mean it's plausible, okay? Bro, not okay to walk and do TA, not healthy. Actually, it's super healthy, all right? It's super healthy. I think it's super healthy to walk and do TA. In fact, if you sit and do TA, I would argue it's not healthy, all right? It's not healthy. In fact, there's a lot of aspects of TA that's not healthy. Staring at a screen, being inside, probably under some not so good lighting. All right. Sedentary lifestyle is, it's deadly, man. We were meant to move and walk. We were meant to move and walk. All right. Shout out to my man, Kaido Cobb. Tomorrow is also the day the $28 billion of options is expiring for Bitcoin and ETH. Yeah, so... yeah, we were just talking about that the other day. Is it happening on the 26th? That could be the catalyst, which happens tomorrow, that allows this weekly bottom to pump to the upside. Honestly. You know? Shout out to Hopium Copium. He says, ho ho hopium. Shout out to Matt Leo, who says, Merry Christmas, everyone. Shout out to Gumo 7276 in the chat. Shout out to Gitch Darrow 1611, all-time high next year. That's pretty crazy, man. I mean, look, the only way I'd see the all-time high coming in next year is if it's just something like this, and then we get a retracement from it. But look, I could totally be wrong. And here's something else. We've had a very underwhelming bull market as far as altcoin season goes. So maybe we have a very underwhelming bear market. But I still just can't help. When I flip this thing upside down, all right, and I look at this, it looks to me that we're breaking out the trend line. We need to come and back test and then come at least to the top of the range, right? And then we can decide, do we want to continue to dump or do we want to reverse? That's what it really looks like to me. You know, everything about the upside down chart is screaming that to me, right? You've got your money flow getting higher. You've got your bullish divergences. You've got your break of major resistance. We have like a giant bump and run type pattern here on the upside down chart. You know, what's scary? Bump and run patterns signal new all-time highs. But I'm not going to talk about Bitcoin going to 14,000. Can you imagine if Bitcoin goes to 14,000? People aren't ready to hear it yet. We got to wait until we're at 20,000 to talk about 14,000. For now, we'll talk about 70,000. All right. For now, we'll talk about around 70,000 USDT. Remember, guys, we are giving away $3,000 this stream. So what I need you to do is sign up to KCEX using my link. We're going to do 2 giveaways, all right? We're going to do 1 giveaway. We're going to give 5 people are going to get $300, all right? And then we'll do another 5. So let's start with the first 5, all right? What does 6 Juanita say? I haven't talked to her in a while. She signed a restraining order against me. Jackboy imagines it's going to 20. Every cycle they say is different. But this is not. He says October 6th was the top. I mean, that's kind of how I feel as well. But I am open to it being different because of, you know, new money or whatever. Like, things are different in a way. This bull market has been different. Major shout out to Spartan Trading. He says, yo, yo, yo. God bless you, man. Merry Christmas to you and the fam. All right, guys, we are going to do a giveaway right now. All right. So put your KCEX user ID in the chat. Spam it out. We're going to pick 5 winners, and then we'll pick another 5 winners toward the end of the stream, alright? So go ahead, spam the chat with your dang KCEX user ID. Alright? Again, if you want to win a giveaway, today's the day. We have a very small group, alright? This is our first of many chances to win. Well, I should say first of 2. Because we are going to do another giveaway. So we're going to pick 5 now, alright? Here we go. I'm going to count down from 10. Pick 5. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, let's see who was selected here. It was, alright, Daryl Oofton. Alright, Daryl Oofton was right here. Crap, did I lose Daryl? Here he is, Daryl Oofton. We're going to pick Daryl Oofton. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so our winners are going to be Daryl Oofton, Dr. X 3527, ES Carr, Patty U X9 U, and the Crypto Killers. Alright. I'm going to send this over to my man at KCEX. Right now. Alright. Now guys, if you are not signed up using my link, then you're not going to get the money. It's just how it is, okay? Alright, shout out to our first 5 winners. We're going to do another 5 winners later in the stream. Alright, later in the stream we'll do another few winners. Let's zoom in locally and see what's happened with Bitcoin. Alright, we are trying to get a bounce. So just a quick reminder here. We came down to the Fibonacci Golden Pocket, and from this area, we got a bounce from the Fibonacci Golden Pocket. This was a setup given in the Casper Crew VIP Discord in advance. I actually told the community in real time when I was taking this trade on Wednesday, which was yesterday, alright? And so we are long from this level, alright? Casper Crew VIP Discord. Setup was given in advance. Trade was taken in real time during the VIP live stream. You want to join, you can go to jasoncaspertrading.com, click the link. Alright, so right now we are bouncing from this Fibonacci Golden Pocket, and we are attempting to break out of this resistance here. Alright, we're attempting to break out of this resistance here. We're obviously finding some resistance at resistance. But again, let's not forget the overall context of this range. Right, the context of the range is we are bottoming out at a significant area. We've come up to make a high, and the price is bouncing from the zone between the Golden Pocket and the 786. Let me see if I can pull it. It's hard to pull. It's really hard to pull the fib sometimes, guys. You know? Where is that? Oh, here we go. Yeah, so we're bouncing from the zone between the Golden Pocket and the 786. Which means nice higher low. We're seeing momentum turn to the upside, which means my next target really is going to be around $95,000, $96,000, $97,000. And the reason why I hold that target is because if we take a look at the macro range here, right? Well, you know, our next technical target, now that we're consolidating around the value area low, is going to be around $96.2 thousand. So the top of our local range lines up perfectly with the midpoint of the macro range. Now, if this level can get flipped into support, guess what? We could very easily come back up toward the top of the range, around the $115,000 level, which lines up very perfectly with our Fibonacci 786 and our Golden Pocket. And again, this is where we need to either look for a big old swing trade coming back down to the bottom, or again, we look for this consolidation here, and then we break out, in my opinion, to hit a new all-time high, which is going to give us more bearish divergences. All right, I really think that new all-time high is going to look very bearish on the chart in the moment. Of course, only time will tell, but it's the money flow. Everything right now is set up for if we get a big fast move up there, it's going to look bearish. I say it'd actually be much more healthy for Bitcoin to do this. All right. It would be much more healthy for Bitcoin to do this, right? We make our low, we make our high, we make our higher low, we make our lower high, then we come down, we make our lower low, and then that would really be super healthy. All right, if something like this happens, imagine what weekly market cipher B would look like. Right? If we're gonna see bullishness in 2026, I think we will toward the end of 2026. Imagine what market cipher B would look like if we get a move up from here. Let's say even if we chop around here a little bit more, and then we get our move up to around 115, and then, you know, eventually we get our move back down to the low of the range. All right, guess what? This is really, it's going to give us a very intense bullish divergence here on the weekly. Right? The last time we had a bullish div on the weekly, it was the bottom. This is also going to allow us to reach that period of time, summer, fall of 2026, where we would expect the bottom to be in, and we would expect the next big move to the upside to happen. This would allow everything to reset. This would allow bearish momentum on the monthly and the 2 monthly to cool off. This would allow really bullish bottom momentum on the weekly to form. And yeah, then we could head into another big push. And then, of course, when we break out of that after this, that's going to look really, really healthy. That's going to look so healthy, guys. That's going to look so healthy. Because we're coming back to back test that zone of the previous cycle all-time high, right? Take out this low here. And it's just going to be a really nice, giant, massive accumulation range. And then we can finally healthily break out, right? Now, I'm not saying that this is 100% the way it's going to happen. I'd say this is like the most bullish scenario I can think of for Bitcoin right now. Is we find support at the previous market all-time high. If things are going to be the same as previous bear markets, then we're looking at our 786, which is going to be just below 40K. All right, if things are the same, like my friend said in the chat, he said, everyone says this time is different, this time is different, this time is different, but it's always the same. If this is going to be the same, well, every single time, guess where we come down to? Every time, the 786 fib. All right. So if it really is different, I'm open to finding support here. I'm open to finding support at the macro golden pocket around the mid 50s. But if we're not going to do that, then I would expect that Bitcoin drops just below 40K and then gives us a big old pump. And this actually would be very similar to previous, let's say we range here and then we get a drop. Then we get a range, then we get a drop. This would be pretty similar. Man, we just got rug pulled. The stream just got rug pulled. Man, we just got rug pulled. The stream just got rug pulled. But yeah, even in 2018, look at where we come down to, guys. The 786 Fibonacci, right? The 786. We tried at the golden pocket. We tried to just take the low and bounce. But we tried to just take the low and bounce. But we fell right through. Okay, Bitcoin trying to get a pump here. Bitcoin trying to get a little bit of a pump. Let's see what you guys have to say in the chat. Major shout out to our winners, by the way. Because we are going to be giving away more money. All right, we're going to give away another $1,500. Which exchange is the best that you use for scalping, says Newbie Crypto? KCEX for sure. The fees are so low on KCEX that you can literally scalp like the 5-second, the 1-minute market orders and still be profitable. All right. So shout out to Jay Becker, who says Merry Christmas. God bless you, man. Merry Christmas to all who celebrate. If you celebrate Christmas, put a 1 in the chat. If you don't celebrate Christmas, put a 2 in the chat. Let's see what kind of demographic we have on Christmas. I would feel like probably a lot of non-celebrators today, or just straight up crypto degens who are trying to win $300. It's probably about 50-50. Honestly, this volatility today is super, super low. Let's see. Are we still lagging here? All right, we got some Christmas celebrators in the house. Shout out to Solipsist. We got a lot of Christmas celebrators up in here. We got a few non-celebrators. My man Saad, my man Dr. Rex, my man You Growl Grow, Siggy doesn't celebrate. We got a lot of celebrators in here. God bless you guys. George with the number of the beast makes me think maybe you don't celebrate. All right. Shout out to Tony Punch Aether Media. He does not celebrate. All right. Man, we got. Oh, right. No lag. All right. That's what's up. No lag. Why isn't the Fed buying Bitcoin? Probably because they want to buy at lower prices. I mean, if I was the Federal Reserve, if I was BlackRock, I would want to buy Bitcoin at 40K. If I knew now I had my foot in the door to manipulate this dang thing, wouldn't you want to buy at lower prices? You know what I'm saying? If you had the ability to manipulate an asset through ETFs, wouldn't you want to, like, suppress the price so that you could accumulate at low prices, and then all of a sudden it just breaks out of nowhere? Like what they did with precious metals, specifically silver, where they artificially suppressed the price through ETFs and paper silver, forming this giant cup and handle, and now we're breaking out, about to hit $100 an ounce. You know, maybe that's why. I don't know. I can't say for sure. Something else about Bitcoin, though, I would say, is this. We have this pattern here. And this pattern that we've been doing since 2014 is potentially about to end, which is 3 blue, 1 purple. 3 blue, 1 purple. Right? We had 1 purple, 3 blue. 1 purple, 3 blue. 1 purple, everyone's expecting 3 blue, myself included. Myself included. Wow, my voice just cracked there. Must be entering into puberty. I thought I saw a few armpit hairs this morning that weren't there yesterday. So are we going to close this as a purple doji? That is weird. There are a lot of weird things about this Bitcoin cycle here. To be honest with you, there are a lot of weird things about this. This is linear. This is logarithmic. Isn't that crazy? Same chart, linear versus logarithmic. Man. Wow. Let's go to the 2-month here. Man, I just don't know. You know, this is a very strange chart. Very strange chart. A very, very strange chart. Shout out to Quicker. All right, Quicker. He does celebrate Christmas. He doesn't have KCEX exchange, so I'm not here for money. I'm just here for the laughs and listening in the background as I'm vacuuming out the back of my wife's vehicle. That's what's up, bro. In fact, I have had some of the best YouTube listening times myself, vacuuming out the back of my wife's vehicle, which is full of disgusting old food from the kids. All right, you know. You work at the hospital for Christmas. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you for doing that, Nadia. Because of you, many people who are in despair have hope on this day. You know? Our monthly fair value gap at 27 to 34K. Yeah, I see it here. I see it here. This fair value gap right here. That's what you're looking at. Look, I mean, I'm not here to say it's impossible, because it is such a nice level. Because it's such a nice level, I actually feel like we're gonna front run it. You know, because it's such a nice level, I feel that we'll front run. You know. But, yeah, it is a really nice level, isn't it, there? Wow, you're down 70% on your spot bags. It's so awesome. Well, I'm glad you have a positive outlook about it. No sound. We got weird. Shout out to John Ploney. God bless you, my man. You love the thumbnail for the stream. Yeah, you know, I figured, what a great thumbnail. Why do you never get a KCEX bonus? I don't know. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if I've ever gotten a KCEX bonus. I haven't really paid attention. But I would say that I only trade on KCEX for the fees, not for the bonus. But if you want to win a bonus, we're going to do a giveaway. We are going to do a giveaway later on in this stream. Alright? Let's look at the order flow quickly for Bitcoin. Let's look at the good old order flow quickly. Dang. So we are building some bearish CBD here, guys. Locally, we see longs opening up, and yet price can't make a higher high. Not the best look. Not the best look. But the one good thing I would say is that we can't trust today. We cannot trust today because it's simply just you know, it's a holiday. And we did see some bullish CBD around this area here. And did we see anything here? Nah, you know, all right. I'm trying to hopium myself into maintaining my bullish bias here, but it does look pretty neutral. I'm gonna have to just go with the high time frame, the weekly, and say, you know what? I'm just gonna try and grab that long, that big one. Are there bear divs on the 1 hour? Let's see. Let's see. Egg code. Yeah, so today's egg code, guys, is coal. Alright, you want to get some eggs in the Discord? Coal. Right? That's what I got for Christmas today. I came downstairs, looked inside my stocking to see if a fat man in a red velvet suit ate my cookies and brought toys. And guess what I found? A lump of coal. So I figured I might as well make that the egg code for today. Alright. Bear div on the 1 hour, let's check it out. I would say no. Nope. No bear div on the 1 hour. In fact, this 1 hour looks like it's getting ready to pump, I'll be honest with you. We do not have a bearish divergence. Not on YUBIT at least. If we take the momentum, it's getting higher with the price. We look at the money flow, it is getting higher, crossing from the purple into the blue for the first time since our bottom. Let's go to our 24-minute market cipher B. No bearish divergence, money flow thickening, setting up for a potential bearish div. Alright, maybe we get another high. Maybe we take the liquidity at around 88.9. Alright. Yeah, look, if anything, guys, we would come up a little bit higher into this area, and then that's the next place I would actually look for a short today or tomorrow. But right now, I think things do look like we could get another push up after a little bit of consolidación. You know? But Hopium Copium says, exit your trades now. Alright, 2 people say this the sound is out. Alright. Tomorrow, yes. Shout out to Leg Pesty BB. He says tomorrow we have that giant options expiry. I can't remember. I think it's 28 billion, right? 28 billion. So you think we'll dump hard because of that? I think we might pump hard because of that, to be honest. But maybe we do dump hard. So here's the thing: if we dump hard, I'm still gonna be, I'm still gonna be looking at this as our range to trade. Like, let's say tomorrow we dump super ultra hard, which is very possible. Man, if we come below these lows, that is going to be a long, in my opinion, because the weekly's bottomed out. If that happens, man, it will look good. We will have bullish divergences on our 2-day. We will have bullish divergences on our 3-day. We will have bullish divergences on our 1-day. We will have really nice divergences on our 12-hour. Like, if we dump crazy tomorrow back down to the bottom of the range, it will make for an amazing opportunity. If we take that low and then get the reclaim, then I think we could at least be looking for something like this, right? At least something like this back up to the top of this local range here, the macro POC, right? Like, just to zoom out in context, I would be looking at something like this based on how bottomed out things are on the weekly, right? Coming up to this area here, you know, at least. And then if we flip it, we could shoot for value area high, just like what happened here. And if we flip that, guess what? Potential all-time high again, right? Flip it. Then boom, we get sent up to here. Consolidate here. We flip that. We could hit new all-time highs. And then, like I said at the beginning, I would still consider that a bearish move, but again, we have never had a weekly green dot like this, bear or bull market, that doesn't signal that the bottom is very close. And if we take the low again, it's a fake out, right? Like this, right? We took the low again, fake out. Now remember, it takes some time, right? And on the weekly candle, it was one whole week. If we go to the daily chart, you know, it was a few days. Like, we were below that level 1, 2, 3 days. You know, 3 days, you're thinking to yourself, man, this is dumping. This is people get scared. Like, you know, when you when you spend some days like below the levels, people get scared, right? But yeah, I think that would set us up for something nice, you know. Man, I'm my chest is going to be so sore tomorrow. I did 45-degree incline barbell bench press today for the first time in I don't remember when. And usually I do the 30-degree incline and on the Smith machine. This time I did free weight barbell 45-degree incline bench press, and I felt my upper chest clavicular fibers about ready to rip off the dang rib cage. And even now, just as I move my arm across my body, I can tell tomorrow I'm going to have some DOMs from that. Shout out to Super Boda. God bless you, Super Boda. Merry Christmas to you. Have I ever noticed, says George, or Jorge, or George, have you ever noticed that when CVD and OI divergences from each other while visually making a big gap, CVD on the upper, OI on the lower, price drops after that? Narrowing does the opposite? I haven't, but that's something that I should really back test, because that looks really cool. Shout out to my man Luminosna. Ring push-ups is the main horizontal press. Those will humble you pretty quick. I've got myself some gymnastic rings. I've messed around with them a little bit. I haven't really found a way, unfortunately, for me to consistently duplicate the lift. I don't know why. Maybe it's my foot placement, but I just can't figure out how to make it feel the same each time. But I want to get more into them. I think I'm going to try incorporating the rings more and try and do ring dips and more ring push-ups. And eventually, weighted ring push-ups. I mean, those will humble you, man. I should really get into those. My main horizontal press used to be weighted normal push-ups. A deficit. So I would put my hands up on some bumper plates so that my chest could dip past the floor with the weighted backpack on, the Market Cipher backpack with some 25-pound plates in there. And man, I got some pretty intense gains with the weighted push-up. You wish you could do muscle-ups? You know, I wish I could too. The problem is I am very tall and I work out in a very short-ceilinged basement. So, I can barely even do pull-ups or dips without bending my knees all the way. You know. Shout out to I Don't Text 9783 who says, I'm walking on the treadmill, watching you walking on a treadmill. That's cool, man. I'm walking on a treadmill reading you talking about how you're walking on a treadmill, watching me walking on a treadmill while you are also walking on a treadmill while I also walk on a treadmill. Yeah, dips are the best. I'm a big fan of the weighted dips. In fact, I did that this morning. This morning, I did some high incline barbell bench press and some chest focused dips. That's what's up. Why do people or bots mess with streamers saying their audio is bad? Probably because it makes them stop and say, wait, is my audio really bad? You know? Is my audio bad? That's probably why. Alright, remember guys, we are going to do another giveaway. Alright? So, Dave Flowers says, I've been vaping for 8 years after smoking cigarettes for 32 years. You want to bash me for that too? I don't know who you're talking to, Dave Flowers, but I guess I haven't been following the conversation. But I'm sorry if people are bashing you in the chat. I'll never bash a person for smoking or vaping. I have a lot of good friends that smoke and vape, and you know, that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. What can I say? All right, shout out to Jorge again, who says, I'm a Pine script programmer. I did merge both CVD and OI into one single line and a single indicator. It makes it more obvious and gives great divergences. Man, bro, that is so cool. That is really cool. What's my highest profit? 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 Sadly, I've never been able to make 6 figures in one trade. I've gotten really close. I tried to a few times. I don't remember what my highest profit is. I think like 80,000 is my highest ever profit. 80K. I'm not 100% sure. In one trade, I don't know. There have been periods of trading where in a few trades I've made over 6 figures in the course of a few weeks. But I've never. It's a goal of mine to do 6 figures in one trade. I remember it was a goal to do 5 figures in one trade. I remember it was a goal to do 4 figures in one trade. I remember it was a goal to do 3 figures in one trade. Let's see if I ever reach my goal. All right, CryptoFace did 7 figures in one trade. So, shout out to Felix H. God bless you, my man. Why not the Casper indicator? We'll have to get one. Really? You can make a chicken sound in the settings now for alerts? What's the max drawdown I've ever experienced? Well, the most I've ever lost in one trade was around 20K, give or take. This is back in the early days when I was not implementing any of the rules that I used to trade. Before I was implementing the course, right? For me, really, here's the thing. I don't, because of my style of trading, I don't usually end up in much drawdown, more than a couple $1,000s. The reason for that is because I am using, tight risk management, right? So my max drawdown is tens of thousands of dollars ever. But nowadays, I don't hold trades. I don't hold trades in the red like that. I use my stop losses. I honor my stop losses. Yeah, so I don't really hold trades in the red like that anymore. I know some people do it. I don't do it. That's not my style. All right, my style is, if I'm wrong, I need to get out, right away. All right, we're getting another purple candle. How heavy is this vest? This current vest right here has 2, 3. This is a 40 pounds. 40-pound vest. Yeah, I did accidentally get liquidated live. That's true. But you know what's funny? When I did get liquidated live, I actually made money on the trade. You know, I ended up getting liquidated, but I made a few $1,000s on the trade. It was like $5,000 I ended up making. And the only reason I got liquidated live is because I was trying to be sensational for the internet. During the pump song, I raised my leverage up to 100x, which was a really dumb move because it put my liquidation price up really high. And basically, after realizing profits, it would be like no difference as if this trade here got liquidated. Like, if this trade here got liquidated, let's say, I've already made 20 grand in profit, so, you know, maybe if I took out another like 6,000 on the liquidation or whatever, I would still end up making 14 grand on the trade. You know, it's not like I just liquidated my whole account, right? Which is something you should never do, by the way. It's okay to get liquidated if you're using good risk management. I mean, liquidation should be your backup stop loss, basically. If you're a high leverage trader, if you set it up that way, don't misunderstand me. If you set up your leverage in a way where liquidation is backup stop loss, but really, you should never get liquidated for your full account. You should never get liquidated for more than what you're kind of risking per trade, right? Maybe worst case liquidation, you're losing 2% instead of 1%, right? People that just crank up the leverage and crank up the whole account into the trade, that is a one-way ticket to losing everything very fast. You know, please don't ever do that. What's the sweetest leverage? The sweetest leverage, I'd say, depends on your trading style. Are you a scalper? Are you a day trader? I mean, look, if you're trading these types of setups where you're planning them in advance, right? And for me, when I took the trade, I had a much tighter stop than this. But in general, 84.9, right? 84.9. If we're really going to go down to 84.9, it's a 2% stop loss, all right? Which technically means 40x leverage, you're not even risking liquidation, right? With a 2% stop, you got 40x leverage, you're not risking liquidation, all right? Your liquidation price would be somewhere down like below here, all right? Your stop loss is above that. Now, I don't recommend using leverage that puts your stop loss super close to your liquidation. I don't recommend that. What I'm saying is, for me on average, like, I'm not taking trades with more than a 1.5, 2% stop loss max, right? So for me, the sweet spot's like 30x, all right? Because it's going to allow me to have enough wiggle room for most of my positions, all right? You have to know what kind of trade you're taking. If you're taking more of a swing trade with a smaller position size and a wider stop, you've got to use lower leverage in a smaller position size. But for most day trades, like, honestly, if you need more than a 2% stop loss, I don't know. That's a big zone, right? That's a pretty big zone. 3% maybe max, like if you're day trading, like 3% stop loss, that's, you know, even with a 3% stop loss, you know, 25x leverage, you're good, right? So the sweet spot depends on a number of factors. Number one, how much money do you have in the exchange? Because obviously we're using leverage because we're not keeping our money on the exchange, right? If you're trading with a $250,000 account, heck no, are you going to put $250,000 on some random exchange that didn't ask for your identity or anything? And if anything happens, then that's it. Let's be honest, right? And then the second reason, honestly, one of the main reasons I like to use leverage is because it caps your risk in maybe a moment of weakness, right? In a moment of weakness, you know, this trade, I put $3,000 of margin on the trade. You know, in a moment of weakness, if I'm liquidated, I only lose $3,000, you know? When I say a moment of weakness, I mean, I'm not respecting my stop loss, right? I'm not abiding by the rules, right? And then another reason to have leverage is so you can be in multiple positions at the same time, right? With the same amount of capital. If you only have $15,000 in your account and you're in a $15,000 position, well, that's it. There's no more trades to take unless you close the whole trade or part, right? Don't worry, we're going to do more giveaways, guys. We're going to do more giveaways. Shout out to Bitcoin Templar. God bless you, Bitcoin Templar. Shout out to Cephas 2025. Merry Christmas to you. Pump song needed, bro. In the EU, you can't use isolated. That's crazy. That's so interesting. I wonder why. Jason, you love the farm life, bro. Being in the nature and enjoying what the world gives you. Of course, man. Of course. Of course. Like, honestly, I think that, how do I say this? We are meant to be outside in God's creation. If not, we will get depressed. Like, I hate the artificial lifestyle. You know, I try and minimize it as much as I can. It's very difficult to do, considering I work on a computer. But I try to maximize the outdoors. You know, I really try to maximize the good old outdoors. All right, what do you guys say we do another giveaway here? If you want to do another giveaway, pop a dang one in the chat. You can be in multiple positions on KCEX. I'm in 2 right now. Yeah, pop a 1 in the chat. Pop a 1. Good old pop a 1. Looks like people want some giveaways. Who would have thought? Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk that people would want to do giveaways? We got some giveaway wanters. Some giveaway wanters. Some GWs. Shout out to Imagination of Innocence. Merry Christmas, bro. God bless you, man. God bless you. All right, let's do a giveaway. What we're going to do, once again, we've already given away $1,500. We're going to give away another $1,500. Guys, you need to have a KCEX user ID using the link in the pinned chat, all right? So if you're not signed up using my affiliate link, then you can't win, all right? So I made that pretty clear at the beginning. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a countdown from 10. We're going to take a screenshot. And whoever's the first name highlighted, him and then the next 4, or her, and the next 4 people after that will get their money. All right, here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let's take our screenshot and see who the winner is. All right, Tushar J01. Shout out to you, man. All right, Tushar J01 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. These are our winners here. We've got Tushar J01, Newbie Crypto, Kamal Kuar Baga, Daryl Ufton, who already won, and So Leaps Hist 01. All right. Well, those are our winners. So I'm going to send that over to KCEX. Shout out to Daryl, who won twice. That's crazy, Daryl. Man, some people never won once. Daryl won twice. All right, each one of you will receive $300 smashed into your KCEX account. All right, so All right, shout out to Solipsist01, God bless. Shout out to Darryl Oofton. God bless you, man. Why did you never win Crypto Hunter? I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not in charge of the winners or the losers. Well, oh, Bitcoin about to take a dumperoni. Bitcoin about to take a dang dumperoni. We did have a little bit of bearish CBD there, to be honest. Only KCEX? Yeah, only KCEX. KCEX is the one sponsoring the giveaway. So, Coin Operator said, I can't even get Jay to read my chat. How am I going to win a dang giveaway? Now, I got you, Coin Operated, period. Look, I got you, man. I got you. Shout out to Vetty Goat. Shout out to y'all. Congratulations to our winners. Shout out to Red Elephant. Remember, the egg code for today is coal. All right, coal. If you want to win some eggs in the Discord, coal. 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 Old King Cole was a merry old soul. And a merry old soul was he. He called for his pipe, and he called for his bowl. Sounds like a pothead, honestly. Shout out to Crypto Coons. God bless you, man. Shout out to Newbie Crypto. God bless you, man. May the Lord bless you. In Jesus' name. May the Lord Jesus bless you, Newbie Crypto -0. What is bearish CBD? Bearish CBD is absorption. All right. If you want to know all about CBD, check out the free course that Jason Casper put on his YouTube channel for free, and check out the whole session entitled Order Flow and CBD Explained. How to CBD divergences and absorption. All right, not how to trade them, not how to read them, just how to CBD divergences and absorption. The reason for this title is to make it fit in a smaller space, and most people wouldn't really notice that this sentence doesn't make sense. So I said, let's roll with it. Now, you can tell from the hairdo that I really know what I'm talking about. Okay? Check it out, all right? Check it out, check it out, check it out, check it out. This will explain all about the CBD. All right, guys. Well, you know what? I think I'm gonna head out, guys. It's been a while here, right? Over an hour. God bless everybody in Jesus' name. May the Lord bless you and your families. Hope everyone has a very happy, healthy, safe day, evening, tomorrow, and the next day, 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 and a happy new year. God bless y'all. Peace.